Welcome back to the Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm Jimmy Martin with Slug Magazine.
And I'm Jeff Weiss with MSN Entertainment.
Okay, so we're going to take a peek now at the 1971 movie Straw Dogs, but it's the remake now. Mm-hmm. Instead of Dustin Hoffman, we've got James Marsden. Mm-hmm. And this time around, Marsden plays a Hollywood screenwriter who is married to Kate Bosworth, who is a Hollywood actress. Mm-hmm. He has a new World War II screenplay he wants to get written. And so, to get some quiet time, so he can think, they say, let's go down to your old hometown of Blackwater, Mississippi, where her father has recently passed away, so the home is vacant. They go in there, but on the way down, they kind of bump into Alexander Skarsgård, who some people might know as Eric from True Blood, the tall, like 700-foot tall vampire. And so, and him and Kate Bosworth used to have a past when she lived there, and he kind of wants to reminisce on that past just a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, but he's a constructor, and so they hire him and his crew, his creepy crew, I would say, to rebuild the roof on their farm, and sexual tensions ensue. And when I say sexual tensions, I mean naughtiness.
Something ensues.
Mr. Owner, Charlie, put in a bid for me and my crew to rebuild that roof of yours.
Oh yeah, that's right. Can you start tomorrow? A little early, don't you think?
That's the way we do things around here. You get used to it.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right.
Whoa! That ain't right, man.
That ain't right. I don't know what right is.
They were practically licking my body outside.
I can't just walk out there and accuse them.
You're a coward.
Okay, I'm firing him tomorrow. Not only that.
How much they gonna pay us?
Don't worry about it. We're all gonna get what we deserve.
Hey, Charlie, there is something in the Bible I do believe. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Well, what happens when thy neighbor's wife covets you?
Well, education's a very difficult thing to control, Harry. One thing.
There are 5 men with guns outside.
They're not gonna come out, guys. We have to get in.
If they get in this house, we're dead.
I have to be honest, I am not the biggest fan of the original, which was directed by Sam Peckinpah and starred Dustin Hoffman. As a more nebbishy writer who doesn't want to rush to action, in fact, he's sort of a pacifist.
Well,
I like James Marsden.
I like James Marsden, and that's about it.
But he's almost feminine in the way he's portrayed here, because they go so far overboard to make this guy who the guy's ripped.
He's ripped out of his mind, you know, whatever. And that's why, I find that very funny. And because the whole movie is about Alexander Skarsgård basically he's emasculating him. Mm-hmm. And making him look like a bitch in front of his wife.
Absolutely.
Absolutely like that. But then you've got this, you know, just because you're a Hollywood screenwriter, I think you might know how to change a tire.
Yes.
And then having like a little 17-year-old going, I'll teach you how to do it if you just come on down to my shop. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's not rocket science, you know? And I know some people don't know how to change a tire. I think his character does.
And you know what? What also makes this character unbelievable for me? He's writing a war movie. Because we know that pacifists like nothing better than to write about war. It's one of several things about this film that I just found idiotic, which is really surprising, considering the screenwriter-director, Rod Lurie, used to be a film critic, and you should know better. You can practically see this film bleeding IQ points from minute 1. By the time it ends, it has turned into violent, gory house siege movie.
Okay. I disagree with you since minute 1 because I actually enjoyed it for about half of it.
Right.
I thought they were setting a very good tone. You know, the tension between them all. You know, all this stuff. Fine. But you get to a point, and you know, I think it's in the film, and the 1971 is basically legendary for its brutality, but also, I mean, it was banned in the UK for a number of years, you know, and it's for this graphic scene, and so once that scene hits in this remake, it doesn't hit the same level of I'm just
of menace and terror.
Well, the terror level, but
yeah,
it just doesn't hit it. And so then, and also, I don't feel bad for any of the characters.
No,
because none of them give me something to feel bad for them for.
Exactly. And you bring up that scene, and I'll describe it. It's a rape scene, and this is where I particularly have a problem with this film, because it is depicted so almost romanticized and fetishized.
Well,
that it is not terrifying. It's like a scene from Harlequin romance.
It really, because you're talking about, and I agree with you, because you're talking about Skarsgård like taking his shirt off,
and
he's got the ripped abs,
and there are close-ups on his abs.
You're not supposed to swoon at this scene. You know what I mean?
You should feel terror. You shouldn't feel, oh man, that guy's ripped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some.
That's where, that's what it was. It's just you don't feel. It's just like, instead of being like a rape scene, it's just her having an affair. You know what
absolutely,
I mean?
Absolutely.
And it takes it out. Yes, there is aggressiveness in the beginning of it, but then like half of it's just sexualized and fantasized. And I'm like, it's not.
It would help, by the way, if the female character were played by anybody else than Kate Bosworth, who
I don't know what happened to Kate Bosworth.
She invests so little in this role. She should look as if she's uncomfortable. Instead, she looks like she's bored.
Well, and you mentioned towards the end that it becomes like a ransacking of the house. It also becomes not terrifying anymore. It becomes absolutely laughable.
Absolutely.
And for a film like this that's supposed to deal with rape and men duking it out and masculinity, I should not walk out laughing and chuckling under my breath.
Absolutely. If I can liken this film to how it should feel, it should not feel. I don't think it should feel like necessarily the Peckinpah film, but if you're going to do a disturbing Southern potboiler, it should feel like Deliverance.
Yep.
And there is never that sense of dread for me.
I guarantee you right now, when I walked out of Deliverance, I wasn't chuckling.
No.
So
I was extremely disappointed in this film.
Yeah.
And like I said, for me, it bled IQ points from.
You say minute one.
Yeah. I just didn't care. I didn't care for the characters. I didn't care for any of it. 1.5 stars for me.
Yeah, and like the one we just talked about, I'm right above you. It's not that I have that much more respect for this film.
Right.
Gotta watch the original if you want to see something slightly better. 2 stars for me. And, I don't...
A series of missteps.
I almost kind of want to go down a little bit because to sexualize and fantasize a rape scene
is in such poor taste.
It's
shame
really
on
bad.
you, Rod Lurie. Shame on you.
It's so distasteful.
Agreed.
Well,
coming up after this break, hopefully there will be a better, different note as we talk about Drive, starring Ryan Gosling.
Please.